Hey everyone, welcome back. We all want to improve our communication skills, right? And I'm sure that is why you are here. To improve our communication skills, we need to know a lot of other things as well. Like, for example, we should know what fluency is, we should know what confidence is, how we can speak fluently, how we can speak confidently, what are the ways which will help us to speak fluently and confidently. And there are lots of things which is there or which can help you to become fluent and confident in English, right? So today I'm going to talk about the factors or attributes or the qualities which will help you in becoming confident and fluent in English or in enhancing your communication skills. On that note, guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Well, today I'm going to start with very basics, which is what is communication skills. Why we get confused. So communication skills, by saying communication skills, we are talking about communication skills in English, how we communicate in English. So communication skills is a broad word which is used related to communication, irrespective of whichever language you are using. Whatever the medium of communication is, or the language of communication is. So if you're speaking in your mother tongue, if you're speaking in Hindi, if you're speaking in English or any other language, if you're fluent enough, if you are able to get your ideas across, if you're able to convince people, if you're able to get people understand what you're trying to say, and in return you understand what others are trying to tell you, this is called communication skills. Okay, so if you take the language as English, if you're speaking in English and the other person is able to understand your English and relate to it, and you're able to understand the other person as well, that means you are communicating. That means you're able to communicate. Your communication skills are good, right? So this is all about communication skills. It's a very broad term and it's not complicated at all. It doesn't include how fluent are you, if you have any accent, or if you can talk very fast or not, right? So if you talk slowly also, but you're able to translate your idea, if you don't have an accent, a British accent or an American accent, which is absolutely fine. I never favor accents. So if you're talking in your own accent also, but you're able to translate your idea, you're able to pronounce words clearly, you're able to express yourself easily, which means that you have a good communication skills. It's nothing more than that. So today I'm going to talk about what factors which contribute in having a good communication skills or to speak English fluently and confidently. What are the factors which influences or which helps in communicating well or communicating in a good way, in a proper way. But before that, if you haven't subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, and do write your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to press the notification icon. So let's talk about the factors which attribute to a good communication skills. The first and the foremost factor is clarity of thoughts. So by clarity of thoughts, what I mean, clarity of thoughts doesn't only mean that your thoughts should be clear, right? You have to have a clear thought, like what you have to say or what you are going to tell the other person, right? So you have to have that clarity in your head, in your mind, in your brain, and that should translate into your speech, which means then you should be able to speak on it, on that topic or about it very clearly. You should not complicate your idea, you should not complicate your sentences, you should not complicate your vocabulary or your speech or your pronunciation. Everything has to be crystal clear. Your pronunciation should be very clear so that the other person can understand. You should open your mouth and speak well. You should complete your sentences very well. The sentences should be short and simple, right? The vocabulary used should be very simple so that the other person, anybody and everybody can understand what you're trying to say. Don't fall into the trap of using advanced words and advanced vocabulary. It might ruin your speech. Just because nobody is going to understand what you're trying to say, then your purpose is not fulfilled, right? Your purpose is to convey your idea to the other person. So if you can be very simple and if you can convey it in a simple and a short way, well and good. Okay. And your speech should be, and your pronunciation and vocabulary also should be very clear to the other person. Your sentence construction should be very clear to the other person so that they can understand it well, right? So that is why clarity of thought is very important. You have to be very clear about what you have to speak in your head also and in your speech also while you are speaking. So that is very important. Second one is understand your audience. This is very important, guys. If you're speaking in front of your colleagues, if you're speaking in front of your friends, if you're speaking in front of your relatives, every audience is different, right? If you're speaking in front of a kid, if you're speaking in front of a youngster, if you're speaking in front of a senior citizen, so every situation is different. You should know how to speak in different situations. So that is what is called understanding your audience. If you're speaking in front of a senior citizen, you should know how to speak or what to speak in front of them, because first thing, they have a lot of experience, they know a lot of things. And if you say that you are wrong, they will get offended. So you should know how to convince them. You should know how to say no to them. You should know how to convey your ideas to them so that they understand it and they don't get offended, right? If you're talking to a kid, their knowledge is limited, their experience is limited. You should take an effort to make the kid understand what you're trying to say. So probably you'll have to take more efforts. And you have to give more examples so that the kid understands. So every situation is different. Everybody is different. Every audience is different. You have to pick up different ways to convey your ideas to different people. So that is what understanding your audience is very important. And how you have to convey your idea to that person or to those people is a task, right? And you need to master that task. It's not difficult at all. It's not at all difficult, guys. It's just that your speech should be clear. You should have some examples with you and you should know how to convince people or how to counter people. If they have some suggestions for you, if they have some opinions, you should know how to take that and how to counter that. Okay, in a good way, in a polite way. So that is how conversation grows and that is how people exchange ideas. You should not be closed. You should be open to thoughts. So you should know your audience very well. Third one is be prepared. Now, what does be prepared means? I always tell you guys, I tell you a lot of things like, you should listen to a lot of podcasts, talk shows, TED Talks, chat shows and news, articles. So I give you a lot of options to listen to, which means I always tell you that you should watch all these things to gain knowledge on different subjects or different topics, which is very important. If you get to talk on any topic which you know beforehand, it will be much easier for you to talk on that, right? But if you have no knowledge on that subject or on that topic, how will you talk on that? And it's always better you should not speak on that. I would suggest that, because if you don't have knowledge on anything, if you start speaking on that, of course you're going to do blunders there. So it's always better, if you don't know about a topic, don't speak on it. But for gaining knowledge, you have to listen to a lot of things, you have to watch a lot of things, you have to read a lot of things. And you should not be limited to one single thing. If you like watching movies, you only watch English movies. No, you should try to get more and more exposure through a lot of things, a lot of activities, a lot of things which is there available on the internet, which you can do to gain more and more knowledge on different subjects and topics. That is what Be Prepared is. Whatever the current issue is, whatever the burning topics are, whatever the debatable topics are, or whatever topics which come up in conversation, try to research on it, try to listen to about those topics so that it's much easier for you to speak on those topics. Okay, So once you gain knowledge about all those things, it will be much easier for you to speak on it. So that is why try to do a lot of research and try to listen to a lot of stuffs which covers different kind of subjects, and try to focus on current affairs, burning issues, trending topics. There are lots of things, right? People talk about nowadays. We should be focused on that, so that if tomorrow we get a chance to speak on any of these topics, it will be much easier for us to speak and convey our ideas, right? So be prepared. The fourth one is practice. Of course, everything comes down to practice, which I always say. But how do you practice? You don't have to take out time to practice, guys. We don't have time for everything, right? We are so busy in our lives. So we should know how to manage it with our daily routine and with our daily schedule. Okay, so what we can do is we can club our practice sessions with our habits or our daily routine. We can make it a habit, right? While we are dressing up, we can just take out time to describe what we are wearing. Okay, just before going to office, we can just describe how our day would be like. Just while eating our breakfast, we can describe our breakfast, our lunch. While walking, we can talk to a colleague in English on any topic, about our manager, about our project, anything, right? So while going to office, we can describe what is happening around us. There are lots of things we can do, guys. We don't have to take out time. We have to start building this habit of getting into practice. Once we start doing it, guys, definitely things are going to change completely. Okay, and in this way, you will be able to correct yourself. You will be able to speak better every single day. The same thing if you are doing, if today you have described your breakfast, tomorrow also you are going to describe your breakfast. Every single day you are going to do the same thing. So definitely your English is going to improve. Your vocabulary is going to improve. You will pick on new words. You will pick on new things, right? So you have to start doing all these things. You can start on your way. You will start describing what is happening around. It will help you. You will keep on improving every single day. You don't have to have new vocabularies every day. Whatever vocabulary you know, you can use that also. But you should have the intent of describing it in a better way every single day. Okay, so this practice sessions which you are clubbing it or making your habit with your daily routine is really going to help you. So do this. It is definitely going to improve your communication skills, and it will make you confident as well. Because these are real life situations. You are speaking on the spot. You don't have a script at that time, right? You're speaking on the spot. So that is why it's really going to help you a lot. So try doing this. The last one is plan. Now, everything is fine. You are practicing well. You're doing everything, every other thing, right, for improving your communication skills. But you should have a plan of how you're going to do things, right? Like what you should include, what things you should include so that your communication skills can improve, right? You have to include reading, you have to include writing, you have to include listening, you have to include speaking, right? These are 4 things which is really required: reading, writing, speaking, and listening, right? So you have to have a schedule or plan what you're going to do every single day about it. What time you're going to read a paragraph, what time you're going to write something, what time you are going to speak about any event or any experience which you have had, right? What time you're going to listen to podcasts, what time you're going to listen to any speech or any news or any sports commentary or any talk show or TED Talks or anything else. So you have to dedicate or allot time for all these things, because all these activities has to go hand in hand to improve your communication skills. If you don't listen, if you stop listening, if you stop reading, how will you get to know new words to practice, right? To speak or to use those new words. So you have to read or listen to or watch something in English so that you can improve your vocabulary, increase your vocabulary, your word power, and then you can use it while speaking or practicing. So that is why a plan, a schedule is very important to improve your communication skills. You have to have a plan in place. You should include reading, writing, listening, and speaking in that. You have to allot time. Speaking also, if you remove, because I have asked you to club it in your habits or make it a habit in your daily routine. So if that happens, then well and good. But you have to take out some time to speak about what has happened the whole day, or any particular event which has happened, any particular experience you have had that day. You can speak about it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, right? So that is very important, guys. Take care of all these 5 points and surely you're going to see a big change in your communication skills. It is really going to improve a lot. So guys, that's the end for today's video. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep watching, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.